Welcome everybody. It's really nice to see you all, and those of you online, sorry for the ever so slight delay. I don't think these ever go out just exactly on time, but welcome to you. My name is Barry Dignam. I'm head of European projects at IADT. You won't get very much of me tonight, hopefully. I'm here to kind of cue everybody up a little bit, but it is lovely to see you, and for those of you in the room, it is even nicer to see you without masks. We were lucky enough to meet a few months ago, and now we're meeting all again, and I can see all your faces all of the time, which is great. As you know, the summit is about sustainability, so you'll have noticed that there has been as little printing as possible, virtually no printing. There's no program, there's no physical program, it's all online, so there's QR codes that were printed and laminated, but only a few. So if you scan those, you can get the most up-to-date timetable. And for those of you at home, you can also get that on the website. One of the things that we wanted to do was avoid having as many cups, or certainly disposable cups, as possible. So in the bag that you will get when you leave the room, there will be a disposable cup if you could, or not disposable, there will be a keep cup that for you to keep and hopefully bring to the next conference that you go to, so that each time we go to something else, we've got a water bottle, we've got a cup, and despite Ryanair and their crazy hand luggage, we might be able to do something. We will talk a little bit about those mobilities later as well. The one thing I just do want to point out to you, and it's the bag that you'll get. These bags are handmade, so they're handmade and hand printed and designed by students at IADT, and nothing comes free. So we are hoping that you'll make a donation, a suggested donation of €10. And again, there's a QR code out there if you want to make a donation. If you can't afford it, it's okay, it's not a problem, particularly thinking of students, but certainly staff, I suspect, can. So they're handmade and they're one-off, so please do enjoy them. I think they're gorgeous looking. I'm not going to go through the program because it is all online, but I'll just say that the sessions that are online, that are publicly available, are this evening, tomorrow morning, Thursday afternoon, and they're the sessions that are online. So we have other work that we get on with during the summit. That's us bickering. No, it's not. It's us presenting to each other, and that's less interesting to a public audience. Just to know, after this first session of welcomes, we'll have a short break before we come back to do the pilot launch. There's some stuff that we have to do here in the building and some photos that we have to take. So we'll have a short break, but we will be back on schedule, I hope. So that's it for me for now. Again, there's lots of welcomes tonight, but personally, I just wanted to say welcome to everybody. And it's my pleasure to introduce the first speech tonight, and that's from the Head of Department of Film and Media, Vanessa Gilday.
Hi, thanks Barry for asking me to speak today. I did print this out, and it seems a little inappropriate now, but in a year, I'm here working a year, and it's the first paper I printed since I've been here, so it was just because I needed the print to be bigger than on my phone. It's my great pleasure as Head of Department Film and Media and the National Film School to welcome you all here today to Studio 1 at the National Film School. Welcome colleagues and students from Lusófona, Luca and the Baltic Film and Media Arts School. I had the pleasure of meeting some of the students from Luca earlier who interviewed me. I can report that they were wholly kind to me and very professional. It was a pleasure. IADT has been leading the way in film education in Ireland for over 30 years, focused on excellence in craft and storytelling. We pride ourselves on having the most brilliantly talented and creative teaching staff and students alike. The National Film School building was officially opened by our wonderful poet president, Michael D. Higgins, in November 2013. And this building provides state-of-the-art facilities, as you can see, for film, television, radio production, design for stage and screen, cinematography, animation is also a very proud part of the NFS, 3D design and VFX. The National Film School boasts the largest selection of film-related courses in the country, spanning undergraduate courses in film and TV, sound, animation, production design, and postgraduate courses, including broadcast production. We have some of the crew here from that course as well, and the undergrad, screenwriting, creative production and screen finance, and an Erasmus joint MA in cinematography and film. At the centre of everything we do here at the NFS is our student body. Everything we strive for and all future planning revolves around what is best for them, pedagogically, technologically, and most importantly, creatively. Our students are brave and bold, traditional and innovative. They are experimental and genre influenced. They are auteurs and HODs. They lead and they crew. They think and they work hard. They question and interrogate. And to be honest, we couldn't be more proud of their work, their achievements while here at the National Film School and in the world. Notable alumnus include Academy Award and Golden Globe nominated writer and director Kirsten Sheridan, and recently her sister, Naomi Sheridan, who's a graduate of the Masters in Screenwriting. Directors Aisling Walsh, Maudie and Song for a Raggy Boy. Kieran Donnelly from Vikings, director Tudors. Cinematographers Darren Tiernan from Star Trek, Discovery, American Gods and Westworld. And Robbie Ryan, American Honey and I, Daniel Blake. And our own woman cinematographer, Kate McCullough, who recently was a DOP on Normal People. Makeup designer, Tom McInerney, Vikings and the Tudors, documentary filmmaker Ken Wardrop, and many more, I won't name them all. Recent animation graduate films have premiered at the Venice Biennale and Annecy International Festivals just this year gone by. The core heart of the National Film School is the strength of our relationships between teachers and students, among peers, researchers, graduates, and industry. It is familial-like. We nurture those close and respectful relationships, and it is one of the most special and unique things about the National Film School. And now we are part of a growing EU family, and that we have a shared focus on long-term strategic collaboration. It is essential we build on and promote the core European values of respect for diversity and human rights and foster the role film and television can play in promoting a more equitable and diverse society. I believe passionately that the future of film and television must be based on diversity, inclusion and gender parity. We at the National Film School recently collaborated with acclaimed film artist Jessie Jones. She represented Ireland at the Venice Biennale with her work Tremble Tremble, whereby women students were able to join an almost all-women crew. These kinds of collaborations seek to further expand on the work that Chair of Film and Television Jean Rice, who most of you know, and her colleagues started with the Young Women in Film and Television initiative. Supported by the local county council, it ran for 3 years, hosting masterclasses by leading women in industry, targeting school-going young women, encouraging and supporting them to consider a career in the screen arts. This work is really important. It is also so important that FilmEU has developed a diversity and inclusiveness report and will produce an EDI action plan for the future. Working closely with the EDI manager here, Claire McGing, the National Film School at IDT is committed to being progressive and inclusive, and FilmEU espouses this ethos also. Society is informed and shaped by the stories we tell and how we tell them. FilmEU can, and therefore will be a force for creativity, but also for positive social change. Issues like climate change and sustainability, which is your focus for this summit, but also gender equality, diversity, and social justice are just some of the issues that inform the shared philosophy of this offering. I look forward to working together to improve pedagogical approaches to embracing diversity, to being culturally aware, and developing and promoting the differences between us. We respect difference, and we recognise the added value that it brings in allowing people to work together in a highly productive, creative, and rewarding way. As mentioned, I'm relatively new to this role, just a year, and have met many of you online, but I look forward to getting to know you all, my new European colleagues, in person over the coming week and into the future. Thank you very much.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Manuel Damasio, and I'm the coordinator of FilmEU. So first of all, I'll say welcome. We've already said welcome 1,000 times today, but I should start by giving a big thanks to EIDT for welcoming this second summit. For those of you that do not know, we met more or less 8 months ago in Lisbon, and that marked the moment where most of us met for the first time in person. I think that that moment was a sign of the times we are living, very complex times indeed. And this second summit signals the moment where we start paving the future of our collaboration for the coming years. Because FilmEU is more than a project. It's a concept, this idea of the European universities that the EU put together more or less 4 years ago, and that points to what higher education will be in the future. It's a very simple idea. It's this idea of a trans-European institution made up of campuses scattered across Europe, but no one actually knows how to do it. Okay, so you are basically all pioneers in a journey that no one knows where it will end. We hope it will end with something amazing, and that's what FilmEU is all about, making something together. So I think that this summit is one more moment where we'll be building together that future European university that no one knows exactly what it will be. But it will be for sure made up of people, it will be for sure made up of stories, and it will for sure be made up of ambition. And I think that we should all be, the previous guest spoke of how proud the IDT is of its students and teachers. I think we are all very proud of our students and teachers. And we are all very proud of being part of something very new, something that I'm convinced is unique in its ambition, and it's unique in the results and outcomes it can achieve. I think we are going to see some of those results later today. And for that, I'm very grateful to EIDT for putting all this together. I'm very grateful to the teachers, the students, the staff that has been working tremendously in the last 1.5 years, 2 years to put all this together. And the good news is that there is a lot more work ahead. Okay, so we have a lot of ideas already in place. We have a lot of new projects. I hope that all those projects will be opportunities for further collaboration, for new ideas to come alive, but also for new projects to become a reality. So it's basically that. I hope we'll have a great week. I think there will be a lot of time for conversations. I hope there will be some time for a glass of wine. I hope there will be some time for discussion, reflection, and most importantly, for coming together around values, coming together around ideas, coming together around stories, because at the end of the day, I think that that's basically what is expected from schools. I think we are expected to do something different in a society that is striving to find its way in the myriad of a lot of confusion. I think we are all invited to do something new every day, to do it differently, and to do it with some passion. So thank you all for your passion in being here and in trying to do something different with FilmEU. And now I give the floor to the next speaker.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is David Smith. I'm the president of IIDT. Very proud to be here today. Before I progress, Barry just like to ask me to remind you that the donations for the bags, they're not for his holiday fund. They are going to support our students and colleagues and friends in Ukraine. So I know that you will recognize that as a worthy cause. So please do support that. So it's a great pleasure in formally launching this year's summit. So welcome to you all, our special guests, our keynote speakers, and our contributors. And of course, to the many senior members of staff, our academic colleagues, researchers, and our undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctoral students from each of our partner institutions. Lusófona University, the Lucas School of Art, and the Baltic Film Media and Arts School. Also a very special welcome to all of you online. From wherever you are, or wherever you may be joining us, you are all very welcome to the National Film School here at IDT to launch the 2022 FilmEU Summit for the European Universities Alliance of Film and Media. On April the 1st this year, IDT celebrated its 25th anniversary. It's a proud milestone for our institution. However, our unique story is deeply rooted in Dún Laoghaire, and it dates back well over 50 years to the late 1960s, when the former Dún Laoghaire School of Art provided the first art foundation course in Ireland. From this modest and humble beginning, the Institute transformed over time to become the specialist institution we are today, Ireland's only institute of art, design and technology, with a specific focus and mission for the creative, cultural and technological sectors, and proudly Ireland's National Film School. As a national centre of excellence in film, television, animation and design for film and media, our staff and students, as we have heard, contribute significantly to the continuing success of the Irish screen industries. Last year in Ireland, and despite COVID, the economic activity for our screen industries achieved a record-breaking figure of above 500 million for 2021, and notable growth across all areas of production, especially in our local feature film, TV and animation studios. Research published by Screen Ireland, our national film agency, indicated that spending on jobs and local goods and services represents the highest ever achieved, and it is a 40% increase in the previous record established in 2019. The audiovisual sector in Ireland currently supports 12,000 jobs, with significant additional expansion and opportunities anticipated this year across all parts of the audiovisual industries. In 2021, Irish film activity increased by 52% from its last peak in 2019. Local TV drama production spending increased by 40%. In addition, Irish animation studios recorded an increase of 27% in production revenues. This is a buoyant and growing sector, central to the future of the Irish creative economy. This growth and the health of our film sector is also mirrored globally. The current edition of PricewaterhouseCoopers Global Entertainment and Media Outlook reveals that total worldwide entertainment and media revenues are projected to rise to an excess of $2.5 trillion. Innovative and engaging content sits at the centre of the entire media value chain. Increased competition and evolving global dynamics are now driving forces for the incredible changes and uplift in our industries, as producers and content creators strive to feed consumers' insatiable appetite for new content across multiple platforms and delivery channels. However, despite the positive impact of digitalisation and changing modes of consumption, our daily lives, habits and established practices do not change as quickly or as radically as we may think. Here in Ireland, we visit the cinema more than any other European country, on average 3.3 times per year. On average, we watch 3 hours of television per day and listen to over 3 hours of radio. So we are not facing the demise of traditional cinema or traditional television, but we are looking forward to a future media landscape that is just a little bit more complex, but a lot more interesting. Inevitably, some fragmentation will occur as audiences are presented with more choice, more digital platforms, personalisation, and increasingly greater convenience. Nevertheless, our national trend data clearly indicates that individuals will still want to watch, listen, and read high-quality media and engaging content relevant to their lives and their interests. This commitment to creating high-quality media and engaging content is paramount to the reputation and the success of the National Film School, where we specialise in all aspects of creative content production. The NFS is also a creative transdisciplinary hub bringing together all of the essential ingredients to support a modern screen industries. This includes CGI, visual effects research, sound design, creative technologies, VR, augmented reality, user experience design, and the technical crafts such as 3D design, sculpting and fabrication, 2D animation and production design essential to the buoyant film sector. As the leading Irish higher education provider focused on the creative industries, we are committed to growing and expanding our reputation and profile internationally. Strategic international partnerships and alliances are essential to us if we are to fulfill our future ambitions. Indeed, our strategic plan emphasises the need of IIDT to grow these international partnerships, expand our collaborative projects and our international research. FilmEU encapsulates these ambitions. It further enhances our international reputation and is deserved recognition for decades of excellence in film and media education here at IIDT. Yet FilmEU is more than a project. We are now a network of the best European schools in media arts. We welcome and acknowledge the endorsement and funding from the European Commission. Furthermore, such funding is recognition that the FilmEU partners and their network of associates are wholly capable of delivering upon the future needs and priorities for European film and media education. Equally, the Irish government recognises the importance of European universities as alliances that foster excellence, innovation and inclusion in higher education across Europe. Our government's investment of some 3 million for Irish Alliance members will accelerate the transformation of the Irish higher education institutions into EU universities of the future. The combined funding from the EU and our national agencies will have a systemic and sustainable impact across Europe. Before I conclude, I would like to speak to the work at hand for this second FilmEU Summit. As we have heard, this year's theme is environmental sustainability in film and media arts, education and industry. FilmEU and our partners take its obligations to sustainability seriously. Of course, each member of the consortium has previously implemented institutional level changes to address sustainability challenges. But earlier today, the Academic Council of FilmEU affirmed a series of actions as a significant and collaborative first step towards sustainability in film and media arts education. I want to highlight some of the commitments our colleagues made today. They've committed to develop together micro-credential courses to certify green consultants for the film and media industries, following Creative Europe, EU and national recommendations. The partners will embed sustainability explicitly in their undergraduate and postgraduate programs, teaching our students how to calculate the environmental impact of their productions. By the end of 2022, each of the partners will audit their joint MA in production, reducing the impact of these programs by 2024. And at the latest, all production in our schools will be calculated by trained students, reducing environmental impact where possible. We in FilmEU will set environmental sustainability as the FilmEU challenge for the next year. In that pilot, we will test our sustainability practices and share them openly with our peers. We will continue to improve the sustainability of our campuses as a priority for our staff, our students, and our future partners. Over the next few days, we will learn from one another, from our industry guests, from our keynote speakers, and most importantly from our students, on this and many other important topics. Today's commitment to sustainable practices is only one of the many firsts that we will see at this year's summit. This evening, we will host the first undergraduate student pilot on the topic of gender, sexuality and censorship, and I congratulate all of the participating students on that pilot. We will also have the first FilmEU RIT Summit, RIT, R-I-T, or research, innovation and transformation, is the Horizon 2020 funded research project that sits alongside the FilmEU initiative. On Thursday, we will have a special dialogue with EU for Arts, which is the only other European university in the applied and creative arts. We'll discuss and debate approaches to and the supervision of artistic research relevant to each alliance. This discussion will take place in our municipal library, the DLR Lexicon in Dún Laoghaire Town Centre. And the final first, the first FilmEU doctoral school will take place this week, as we welcome PhD students from across the consortium and look forward to hearing about their work and research. Finally, I have to thank my IADT colleagues for their dedication and immense work that has made this year's FilmEU Summit a reality here in Dún Laoghaire, especially in person. I thank Barry Dignam, Linda Carroll, Ronan O'Murtala, Dr. Dahi Maxidik, and I thank all of the staff in the National Film School for their continued support, and of course our students here today managing the broadcast and production. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and colleagues, you have a very busy schedule, and as we have learned, with a lot of important work to conclude. So I wish you all a very productive summit, but I also hope you have a little bit of fun and enjoy the welcome here at sunny IADT, in Dún Laoghaire Town over the next few days, and I hope in Dublin City over the weekend. I wish you the very best.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our warmest welcome. Together with my colleague Tobias, I'm very pleased to be here to present our FilmEU Challenge 2021-22, titled Sexuality, Gender and Censorship. It was really hard work, but it was truly a passionate endeavor by both teachers and students, and I think that will transpire when you see the results of the work. We were really entertained and had quite a lot in our hands, but I think that we proved as an alliance to be up there and to be able to face the challenge.
Yeah, welcome everyone. I'm going to show you, can you put that on the screen, please? The computer screen. I would like to show you, thank you, the FilmEU promo for you to wake up if you haven't started already. Okay. So FilmEU is these four institutions that you can see: Lusófona in Portugal, Dun Laoghaire here in Dublin, Luca in Belgium, and BFM in Tallinn. And what we did was we made a pilot. We wanted to test something on a larger scale that hasn't been tested before. We wanted to make a mini-series project with 4 institutions, and each of them sending 7 students and writing, creating, and shooting, and post-producing, and today presenting this mini-series with the topic gender, sexuality, and censorship. And we started last October and went actually till today when the last film was in January. We've met for the last time in person, and some of the students created a reel for that, and I want to show you that. It's a reel where you can see what we did on that team building week, where we had the project selected, where we had the teams selected, where we had the projects developed further, the writing and the ideas and the concepts. We had some master classes about inspiration for the projects. So have a look at that. It's the wrong film.
You ready? Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be great. Be nice to see Clodagh as well.
Okay. So okay. So we want to so let's see this reel that the students created for the team building week that happened in January, and we should put that on the screen.
Yeah, it's going out.
Okay.
since I was very young, I wanted to make a catalog of all the birds that existed in those places. And I have this obsession of being some sort of like rationalist of order.
Yes, so a lot has happened definitely in such a short period of time. Why did we decide that was relevant to have this topic? Because we, the coordinators of the FilmEU pilot, believe that it's really important for us to be a beacon to what is relevant in terms of discussion, in terms of building critical, sustainable thought, in terms of what are urgent and concerning ethical issues, democratic issues, things that we need to discuss, so that we are art schools, but we also have a societal remit, and especially the pilot, it's always in a dialogue with what is happening in the world. So this notion and awareness of key topics, it's always paramount to what we do. The same time that sustainability, it's such an important thing in today's world, diversity and inclusion is so as well. We at FilmEU are representatives of what is Europe today, people from all different backgrounds. And within us, we have our histories, we have our strengths, we have our weaknesses. And in terms of the university want to build this dream of what can be FilmEU, we are going from a paradigm of equality to a paradigm of equity. And by this, it means that we want to look at the individual. We're part of a collective, but to have this notion that both students, staff, teachers, that we need to look at the individual, and we need to have the individual needs into account in this journey is paramount, whatever we do.
Let's see some main challenges that we faced, we as the coordinators, you as the students, during the process of making these mini-series. As in other FilmEU work packages, we see the conversion of the curricular units that are taking place and that are really difficult to do. Not all of the universities that were part of this mini-series had actually that subject to do that mini-series. So we had to tweak. But that's why we do the pilot, isn't it? You see mobilities, that's a huge thing, because we didn't want to send only a small amount of students, but we wanted to send a large amount of students all over Europe to have as much international contact as possible. But what does that mean is that you have to fill out the papers and get all the the planes and the accommodation and the money. It's a huge administrative process, and it's still, I mean, what you did today is still coming here is mobility as well. The harmonization of the supervision. Who of the teachers is in charge of what? That's for the coordinating side. And of course, I don't say that word, but you can read, because you know that one film, the last year, one film was delayed and had to be shot later. One of the directors isn't here today because of that. Okay, we still have to deal with that. We hoped it was all over, but it also affected the production of our miniseries.
And I would like to remind everyone that it's not work package 2, it's not just the pilot, the challenge. We have worked quite a lot in this work package in terms of giving the tools that will capacitate not just teachers and staff, but also, and we realized that with the pilot, to capacitate the students. And then again here, if we look at our model for everything we do in terms of pedagogy and in terms of the innovation we want to bring, and the pilot is part of the innovative research we're doing in all work packages, I think the sentence highlighted is what we FilmEU are all about. People learn best when they are making meaningful creative work together on equal terms. And it was precisely these equal terms that we wanted to provide as much as possible while we were running the pilot. To start with, we had a series of masterclasses provided by all 4 institutions, and we are pleased to remember here one such masterclass, a great moment provided by IDT, that all of us had the chance to get acquainted and to watch the Queen of Ireland. And it was followed by a Q&A with the main protagonist, Rory O'Neill. And this gave the students not just an insight in terms of the film, but it was also a chance to speak with actually a key player and to understand more about the creative process and what happened behind the scenes.
So what were the 5 phases of doing that film? I'm going to go briefly through that because most of you know about film production, and these are actually exactly the steps that every film production has. Preparation, we have the team building week, we have the pre-production, the 4 weeks of the pre-production, we have the 4 days of shooting, and we have the post-production. So you see, we started in October in the 4 institutions, and as you see, we started online, virtual, and we had these ideation phases, we had the development phases that were done locally in the 4 institutions. So each of the groups had 1 or 2 teachers that were developing ideas. And these sessions was, as Érica just mentioned, followed by 4 master or workshop classes that that inspired the project or put them on a different level of understanding the topic, sexuality and censorship. Next phase was the team building week. You just saw the trailer of that. It was where we selected the projects because each institution came with 3 projects, and we selected one of them that was based on criteria of feasibility and creativity. And it was also taking place a team building for both the students and the teachers.
And because something we realized with the pilot, and it's something that probably everyone realized as well as by now, it's that it's not just with the pilot, it's not just the students that are learning. We, the teachers, learn and learn quite a lot. And this first pilot, I think it was a learning curve for everyone, where we had to address not just our institutional difference, legislation, our cultural differences, our different accents, so many things. And I think we should be proud of ourselves because we have definitely both students and teachers have learned to work together. And also our staff, mobility, the responsibles for mobility at schools, and because mobility is key for the success of the European University, they were just incredible in the way they learned new ways of communicating, in the way they implemented new policies. I think the pilot truly tested us, but we have raised to the challenge, and we should be proud of it.
So you see 28 students, 10 teachers, and if you see that image, and if I see you here, it's very nice to see you today. So February till April, we had the green light pitch, we had the team completion because the local teams were completed by local students. You did location scouting, you did casting, you did all the planning that was taking place locally and virtually, because not everybody was there all the time. And we found out that actually pre-production virtually is working, and that is really good to see. 4 days of shooting on location in April in the 4 institutions. And then we had the post-production, video and audio, the color grading and the mix. That was done April till June 6th. And it was very interesting because to do that on a virtual basis, you know, what does that mean if the director is in Dublin and the editor is in Estonia? What means that is, how do they communicate actually? How do they communicate creatively? And I think all of the students and the teachers and the institutions learned a lot about that process of making those 4 films together.
And because this is all about teamwork, and as mentioned, it's teamwork. And here I have, let's say, organized the main ideas of what is team-based learning. And of course, there are still quite a few things that we need to achieve, and we'll try to achieve in the next pilot, especially in terms of these frequent and timely feedback, how we consider the teams, how we deal with problem solving, the student peer evaluation. But we're getting there. At least we've tested, and we had a flavor, and we understand that there are certain things that can be brought upon on the pilot in terms of how we can go about it. But this issue of problem solving, it's key. It's key for both students and for teachers, and the sense of the collective and how we learn to work together progressively so that we trust, we understand. I think it's the most amazing thing we have here at FilmEU. And we want to share with you the results of this process.
Yeah, that's what you've been waiting for, right? The 4 mini-series projects that came out from this challenge. And here are the names. It's High Entropy, it's Reflections, The Birth of Helena, and Live and Let Live. We're going to show those 4 films, and in between, we're going to briefly introduce the teams of each. And after 2 of the films, we're also going to show some transmedia stuff that has been created around those films, like Instagram and some videos. So I would ask the 2 students of Reflections and Live and Let Live to present that also. Okay, so let's see the first film, what we always call the Irish film. I mean, it was developed, the idea came from Ireland, it was shot here, but actually the team, how many Irish people were there on the team? Yeah, 1, okay. So you see, that's what we mean with mobility. Okay, that's a little bit green, I'm sorry.
You ready? Yeah. It's gonna be great. Be nice to see Clodagh as well. What did you do to your hair?
Making Bill, your daughter's here.
I can't get this thing to work. Aoife, your sister bought me this, and it's a fit or something like that, and it's supposed to be good for my heart. But she's worrying over nothing.
2 stints. Hardly nothing, my love.
Your hair is very bright.
Thanks, Dad. Where's Clara?
She should be here any minute. She was feeling sick last time. Threw up her breakfast. I think she might be expecting.
You must be the lucky fella. Hello, how are you?
And do you want kids, Shane?
Sure.
Don't be silly, Eve. Of course you do.
Oh, this is for you. Happy retirement. It's just something small. Silly, really.
Is it? Oh, thanks. You shouldn't have.
No, really, it's not a problem. I don't mind.
Now, I couldn't find vegetarian prawns, so I got grapes for you.
Oh, well, that's perfect. I love grapes. So Aoife tells me you were a physicist. What was that like?
What's up, fuckers? Let's get this retirement party started. Work's a pain in the hole anyway. Dad, you're looking great for a man who nearly died.
Is Richie coming later?
No.
We are so delighted that Aoife finally found herself a nice boy. She had us worried, hanging out with all those lesbians. How is your sister, by the way?
She's fine. She's gone abroad.
Still doing women's studies?
Gender studies, yeah, like me.
Uh-huh.
I don't mean to rush you, son, but the ladder the size of a plum these days.
Yeah. Yeah, coming.
Will you need the seat down next time?
You okay?
Not really. I don't know if I can do this. How long am I meant to keep this up for? Like, at our wedding, I'm meant to change outfits every 30 minutes and pretend to be my sister.
We'll say she's still abroad.
Kill her off in a freak accident.
Come on. You were just saying you want kids to placate my mum, right?
Maybe one day.
I'm sorry, what? When did this happen?
bit of blackout.
Thanks.
Let's cheers to retirement, to freedom, to doing whatever we want to do, to drinking and retiring, to getting your tits chopped off, to just being our best selves.
What the fuck are you doing?
Shut up. And why are you wearing a turtleneck? It's roasting in here. Have you got something to hide?
Girl, stop. Clodagh, what was that thing about breasts? Wait, are you hiding something? Let me see your neck. Show me your neck.
Do you know that they don't know what black holes are made of? You know, it's a big mystery. We thought it was made of one thing, and it's actually not.
What about her? She comes home drunk, you don't say a thing.
How dare you? You don't know the pressure I'm under.
I would if you replied.
When they separate and come back together, they annihilate each other.
It's kind of sad, isn't it?
Yeah, and sometimes one of those particles can fall into a black hole.
Darling, do you really think it's such a good idea to go drinking right now?
And then the other one comes back out as...
Bill, can you come and talk some sense into your children?
Excuse me.
Okay, cool. As you've seen, that was a problem with the projector. It was not a problem with the color grading. I'm sorry for that. I guess we need to make a 10 minutes break in order to fix that. I'm sorry, but we have to do it. Otherwise, all the other 3 films will look the same. Okay. So, but now that we've seen your film, you have to stand up and show who you are. Okay. All of you, please. All of you stand up. All of you stand up. What should we do? Everybody's leaving. Okay, so we'll have to do the break. I'm sorry. Barry, help me.
It's okay.
quiet, please. Okay, welcome back after this short commercial break. We're going to see the next film that is called Reflections. This is the project. You should put that up on screen. This is the project that was shot in Tallinn in Estonia. And I'm going to introduce the team after that. So let's see the film.
Ma varsti jõuan, aga oota, tule, aga tõmba sees ja tõmba välja. Jah? No ma ei tea, kummid ütle. Ma saan kuulata siis. Ma saad või? Et ei tule välja ka. Ei saa kätte või? Ma ei tea, siis ma saan kuulata hiljem. Ei, aga see on parim, mis ma suudan, no. Kuule, tule. Vai.
Congratulations. That was Reflections. Please give a warm applause to the team who's there. Please stand up. Maybe you introduce the team. You can introduce the team.
Hey, so we're the team Reflections. Here we have, I'm gonna start here. Donald, director, God, who did the sound on the set. Shua, who was cinematographer and did sound in post. Then Oke, who was editor. Mara, who did the transmedia and behind the scenes. And I'm Merilia, I'm the showrunner and only Estonian in this project. We shot the movie in Estonia in March, and yeah, this is the team with whom we developed the story, we shot the story, and we made the story into a movie. So I think that's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Marilee. And we not only want to show you today the films that have been made, but also, as I said, the transmedia. So what is actually transmedia is the expansion of the story of the universe. That it means you create audiovisual material that is based upon or a spin-off or a making of or a trailer or you name it, that enhances the story. But not only commercially, but I mean, you make the universe bigger. And that's what Mara did with Reflections. And so I hand over to you, Mara.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Mara, and I did the transmedia for Reflections. So presentation. So let's talk about reflections, reflecting about reflections. Here is the whole Estonian crew, and it was really nice. But we want to say, as a crew, that we lost the footage of our second shooting day. So actually, the movie that you just saw wasn't really the end product we wanted it to be, but we made something out of it because it's still a learning process. And I made a little behind-the-scenes movie to show how we did the process. So please enjoy. Yeah, it's this. Hi, guys. So today it's over, the project. It's really sad, but now we are in a beautiful place to reflect about reflections.
To reflect about reflections, I don't even know what it means.
I want 3, 2, 1. Yay! Wait, this is not how we started. Let's go back in time.
Rolling.
10, 8, take 1.
First, we did some practical stuff. We wrote the script, we did production meetings, and we were finally ready to explore the beautiful city, Tallinn. So now that we had our locations, it was time to start shooting. But first we needed to do one more thing. Now we were really ready to shoot. But how was the crew feeling? Well, I did some interviews.
I am here in Tallinn, capital of Estonia, for an international film project. Thanks to the FilmEU Alliance, we can make this pilot of a mini-series.
We're here in Tallinn Hotel. We are currently shooting our pilot. This is the 4th shooting day, and yeah.
It's a bit cold. It's -5 degrees, but we will manage, and I think all the crew is very happy actually.
Yeah, at least the sun is shining, so it makes everything and everyone happy, I think.
I think the biggest challenge will be like in general reflections. It's pretty hard to film the reflections in mirrors, windows, and I think it's beautiful that we try this cool concept. It's also really challenging to edit it, I think, afterwards, but I really look forward to doing it, so it's amazing. Well, this is good.
If you want to see the full interviews, you can go to our Instagram page. Feel free to follow.
What do you want to tell everyone who's going to watch Reflections?
I want everyone to be aware and to make sure that you do not get hit by a snowball like I am going to be hit by a snowball right now.
No, my target is over there. Was? That's right.
So, this was our FilmEU experience. We had a lot of fun, we learned new things, and yeah, there were some problems, but we tried to fix them. And it's all about the learning process, right? Like, I learned a lot. I learned to bring 2 pairs of gloves because it was minus 15 degrees on our rap party.
How is the filming going, guys?
Good, very good.
Very cold.
Estonia is kinda cold in winter. But anyway.
3, 2, 1.
Should we all do it?
Yeah. But don't fall. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
So yeah, this was our journey. Can I have the presentation? It's almost over. I have one more thing to show.
Okay.
So I also made a walking tour as part of the Transmedia. It's a tour through the beautiful city of Tallinn, where you can explore the city through places where we filmed the movie. And as it's a mini-series, if there was a chance there will be made some more episodes, then it would take place in different cities, so every city would get his own walking tour. So here you can see it. Yeah. And to end this presentation, in BFM there is a tradition that everyone writes his name on a plate, and then if at the end of the last shooting day you throw the plate on a C-stand normally, and then everyone gets a piece, and they say if you have enough pieces to make a new plate, you can call yourself a real filmmaker. So now I have my first piece, so that's thanks to this project. So I want to thank everyone who made this project possible, so thank you.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we have 2 of the 4. Let's move on to the next one. That is Birth of Helena, what we call the Portuguese project. We will find out how many people are there from Portugal after this film.
Então, parece que já estás pronta.
Finalmente. O processo foi caótico.
Vais-te habituar. No princípio de muitos.
Bem, a Ana ligou. Disse que vinha cá na próxima semana. Deve estar cheia de saudades novas.
A tua irmã vem cá para a semana. Mas ela não me disse nada.
Se calhar era surpresa. Não lhe digam que vos contei.
Mas ela devia me ter dito. Olha lá, e quantas vezes é que eu já te disse para não deixares aqui as bolachas meias comidas, ah? É nojento.
Mãe, calma, o que é que se passa?
Ela está em baixo porque tu te vais embora. E agora? Agora só me tem a mim para aturar.
Bem, pensei no lado positivo. Pelo menos assim vão ter mais tempo para vocês e para a vossa relação. Já que, tecnicamente, o vosso papel como pais acabou.
Olha, eu concordo. E que tal se tu organizasses uma viagem só para nós dois? Assim também passávamos uns tempos longe da Maria. Ela está sempre enfiada cá em casa.
Tu estás a falar da minha melhor amiga. Tu vê lá o que é que dizes.
É o João.
Porta-te bem, pipoca. Vou ter saudades tuas.
Também vou ter saudades tuas, velhotes. Não demos problemas à mãe, está bem?
Ok.
Sim? Olha, e traz aquele barulho de água na casa de banho.
Vamos?
Uhum.
Então, vai daí o abraço?
Tenho tanto orgulho em ti, filha. Não tinha feito isto sem ti, obrigada mesmo.
Minha filha linda. Ai.
Helena, posso entrar?
Um momento. Entra. Precisas de alguma coisa?
Tu já viste que agora só estamos nós os dois. E se fizesse um cozido à portuguesa logo para o jantar?
Eu? Eu não vou cozinhar cozida à portuguesa só para nós os dois. Foi um dia longo.
Eu sei que foi um dia longo. Mas nós agora temos que nos adaptar um ao outro. São 40 anos de casamento. É muito tempo.
40 anos, paternidade.
Helena.
Olha, mas o que é que tu estás a fazer? Hã? Trazes-me um chá, por favor. Eu não me estou sentindo muito bem.
Está bem. Eu vou buscar. Helena?
Deixei as chaves da casa em cima da mesa de cabeceira e tirei algum dinheiro da conta. Toda a minha vida senti que era mulher ou mãe de alguém. Acabei por deixar de saber quem sou. Agora é a minha vez. Não espero que compreendas. Mas neste momento eu preciso do meu tempo. Cuida de ti. Helena.
Estás pronta?
Pela primeira vez em 39 anos, eu não fiz o jantar.
So that was the birth of Elena. Can you please stand up, the team of... I'll introduce them. Elizabeth, do you have a mic?
Yeah. I just want to thank my team. This is Julia, First AD, Patrick, Sound, and Nisha, DOP. I am the showrunner and producer of this project. Unfortunately, our director, Hannah, got COVID and she can't be here, but thank you so much for everything that you've done. And I want to thank the Portuguese team that helped us to make this project. So, yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna see the film 4, the last film that we call the Belgium film. And I think you know by now that there is only one of Belgium, right? The showrunner that stayed in that university and received the 6 students that came in from the other universities and completing the team with locals. So the 4th film is Live and Let Live, and let's see that.
Kent je dat soort persoon dat u de foute richtingaanwijzingen geeft, vlak voor je glimlacht, bedankt en doorrijdt? Ah wel, dat ben ik. Noah, aangenaam kennis te maken en... Sorry, not sorry, hè. We hebben een paar jaar geleden een business gestart. Mijn pa besloot mijn kunst als een tweede inkomen te gebruiken. Het is best een simpel proces. Laten we het recycleren noemen. Opzoeken, renoveren en verhandelen.
Kom maar, jongen. We moeten gaan.
Wat? Nu?
We zitten bijna zonder borden. Ik heb een telefoontje gehad van een van de kopers.
Zo, kom hè.
Mama, die kunt je echt niet dragen.
Waarom niet?
Houd dat nu eens recht, Noah. Godverdomme. Hier. Schijnt er eens op. Zijn er niet meer aan het lachen of wat? Hier, schijnt hierop. Noah. Ja. Hier.
Papa! Papa!
Noah, neem maar mee en ga. Ga.
We moeten gaan. Ze komen.
Stop. Stop daarmee. Ga naar je kamer.
Waar is Mark?
Weg. Ik vervang hem.
Naar waar weg?
De flikken hebben hem meegenomen.
Oh, nou, het weer. Dus jij gaat leveren vanaf nu?
Ja, als dat goed is.
Moet je me de bord laten zien? Oh. Nee, hier. Ga voor de waggie staan en toon mij die borden één voor één.
Make your move!
Naar achter.
Nee. Jackpot.
Zet je maar op achterbank. Bank 2. Noah was het, hè?
Ja, mijn naam is Noah.
Ik ga de telefoon zeggen dat je naam Noah was.
Ja.
Like Key Noah.
Ja.
Ik vind uw stijl nice, Noah.
Merci.
Dit is het meeste wat ik kan doen voor u.
Wie zijn nummer is deze?
Ik dacht toch niet dat jullie gewoon met 3 waren? Noah. Bye bye, Noah.
Wat is dat?
David is een voorbeeldfiguur van een vrijman met veel talenten. En met die talenten kan hij zijn tekortkomingen wegwerken. En zo ook zijn verleden achter zich laten, waar hij eventueel fouten heeft gemaakt. Hij is echt het voorbeeld van een echte man. Hoe een man zou moeten zijn.
Hij doet me een beetje aan jou denken. Nou, ik ook dit.
Vrienden van papa. Ze vinden het blijkbaar heel leuk.
Waarom?
Het zijn unieke stukken, verboden juweeltjes. En wij verdienen er heel veel geld aan.
Wat doen we nu, Noah?
Ik weet het niet, Sophie. Ik weet niet of ik kan zijn wie jij wilt dat ik ben.
Zoals?
Ik weet het niet.
Ja, ik ben Christine van de sociale diensten. Is Sophie hier?
1 secondje. Pak je spullen, we moeten nu vertrekken. Wat is het probleem? Sophie, we moeten vertrekken.
Sorry.
Sophie, je moet mij vertrouwen, oké? Komt allemaal wel in orde.
Okay, that was Live and Let Live. Please give an applause to the team here. Okay. Thibaut is going to introduce you.
Yes. Oh, thank you. That was my sound designer. Of course, I was also the only Belgian in this team. I have lots of Belgians at home, but I was the only Belgian in this team, and I want to thank my director, JJ, my AD, Alessandra, sound designer, Oscar, my editor, Alicia, Maya as DOP, and Daniela as transmedia, and also set dresser. Yeah, I want to thank you all for the very long hours and very cold Belgium, and then the time we spent together. And I promise you the colors in Belgium are not so dark. So thank you all. Thank you all.
Okay, and for this project, we're gonna see also some parts of the transmedia that was produced, and Daniela is gonna present that.
Hello, my name is Daniela. I'm going to present you. Okay, so first thing is comic book. We got the opportunity to work with one of the best comic book makers of Portugal. He always win the comic book concourse on Portugal, and he did this masterpiece that I think it's beautiful because he didn't even saw the film. He didn't saw anything, and he did the plans exactly like we did, and great drawing and everything. So Rafael Antunes, it's the person that did this. Then this is the page of Instagram with photos of the experience that we had. And photos of the shooting, of the actors, of the story, and then and then I did a little video just showing the experience that we had and with the music that mark our project. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for my team.
Thank you, Daniela. So that was it with the 4 films. I have to. So I mean, when I see these 2 making ofs, it's really you had a lot of fun, wasn't it? And it's good. It's good that you have fun because I mean, filmmaking should not only be like problem solving, but also having fun. And also, you know, in all the 4 projects, there were also times of conflict, obviously, and needfully, because if there wouldn't be any conflict, it would also be too boring, isn't it? And it would also be too easy. So, and I know that we all spoke about that, about the times of conflict, and tried to achieve a way of communication, a way of getting nearer to each other for the best of the project and for the best of the team. And I think you also saw that when you are part of a team, then that you become something bigger than yourself, you know, and this is always a nice thing. And I mean, looking at those videos, it's obvious. So thank you all, team. I would like to put on the names of all the people that have been involved in that project for just a moment. I didn't count them. How many are these, Érica? Maybe, I don't know.
Lots of people.
40 or so. I mean, we had 28.
Yes.
Here we are. We had 28 students. Then we had the 10 supervisors, and then we had the 3 mobility coordinators.
And perhaps last but not least, but everyone at all institutions that did all the administrative work, all the coordinators, all the staff, you know. because there's this, we speak about invisibilities in film, but it's huge, the amount, the scale. And I think it's quite thrilling. I think I even feel quite emotional about it, that we managed to make it work. So I think that says a lot for us, FilmEU. And I think at this stage, before going to the next stage, we deserve a clap.
Yeah, we made it. Okay, so we have 2 more things today. For this, we want to see what's happening next year with the pilot, and we have a presentation for that prepared. And sorry for the ones at home, but because you saw the first film, High Entropy, in a good version and the colors were right, but in here we're going to see them again. We're going to see this film again in with the real colors after that presentation. Okay. So, Mark, that's yours.
The future.
Oh, thank you so much. No. Yeah. Yeah, well, really amazing. I thought like I'm not going to say anything anymore because everybody has been saying like great stuff, but it really is because I'm losing my voice. So maybe because of being so emotional about it, but I remember the first time the first ideas were presented and I thought like, okay, we'll see. And all of a sudden we're all here and like important people are sitting looking at the screen and you did that. It's really amazing. So I'm really very grateful I could be part of it. Just a small part, like maybe just the start and the end of it, but well done and thank you so much. Really well done. Thank you guys. As I said, I'm losing my voice. I don't really know why, because I only had 1 Guinness last night, so so no Guinness tonight. I'm going to go very briefly through kind of some things I want to present for next year, because yeah, we've been talking about lots of stuff already. We know the framework kind of is something else every year. So this year is going to be about sustainability. We're going to be talking about the challenge overview and timing, some pedagogical approaches that maybe are going to be the same. It's again the Samsara model. Some quality assurance. We want to get some new elements in. As Érica was saying, that yeah, I mean, this is kind of an iterative process. We did good stuff. We made mistakes as well. This is a pilot, this is work in progress, so that's kind of, I'm going to try to lead you through some kind of the stuff as well. And I'm going to be inviting Deidre, of course, and Jean to the stage as well for some elaboration on that. So as you know, we've got objectives. The first objective maybe we forgot about it, but we want to create an impact. I hope everybody going home tonight is going to be thinking about what they saw on the screen and take it with them and maybe change something, maybe small, maybe big. So the idea for next year as well is to change something, to have an impact with this movie, change something within society. So again, we're going to be choosing a topic. We have chosen a topic. It is sustainability, and we've explored this collaboratively with all institutions. And this is what we stand for. So the first kind of objective of the pilot is to make an impact. The second one, of course, is to, well, give the students some objectives and some goals and some stuff to achieve. And this is kind of boring stuff. I mean, look at it at home, but I think it's important to know that we want our students to function in a globalized world. I think we need to try to get those goals in on campus, individual campus, locally, but we all know we can really get those competencies doing that, what we've done. We've been working together, only one Belgian person in Belgium, surrounded by different people coming in. I think you learn lots of stuff that's on the board now. You learn about interculturality, you keep your kind of, you move forward towards your own kind of self-reflective self. You learn a lot about yourself, and I think everybody will agree you've learned a lot in the last year, I suppose. So that's something, an objective for the students. The last part, and this is the kind of the guinea pig part, you were all kind of pioneers, And of course, we want to learn something. We want to refine the learning environment to make this happen. We've been talking about lots of stuff at the meetings as well. So we want to have the ways, the tools for collaborative work. Maybe even better than what we did this year. So we want to kind of look for mobility modes and ways to work together in a collaborative way so we can enhance the experience and the learning objectives. So we're working hard on that. We're going to be presenting something new for the next year. We're talking about platforms and portals that were not provided this year. So next year I hope to have some more tools to get this objective going, kind of pioneering how does this work? How do we come together? How do we talk about stuff? How do we approach this kind of project? This year annual challenge is about sustainability. I'm not going to be talking too much about it now because for the rest couple of days, people are going to be coming in, experts from all institutions talking about sustainability. They're going to be talking about what it means, sustainability. It's not just thinking about like get rid of the generator. It starts with writing as well and knowing what an impact your writing will have on sustainability. But it's also social sustainability. So it's also about how do you feel on set? How do you feel in your job? So I know for one, Tim Wagendorp from our own local funding agency is going to come in, but lots of more people are going to be talking about it. So this is what we're trying to do. We're going to be talking about sustainability as a theme. This is something that more people know lots more about than I do. To give you an overview, this is all sustainability. It's more than just, as I said, something on set, getting rid of the generator. It's all this. And I hope we can really implement all those, or just a few factors within next year's pilot. So to make it quite clear, the idea is to do something about sustainability, to make a project kind of depicting what sustainability could be like, but also to use the production tools to acquire the sustainable framework. So in a way, this is what we're trying to achieve. The industry should kind of maybe more embrace sustainability, and we're trying to do a significant contribution, promoting development and so forth. I think awareness is something I learned a couple of weeks ago. Like, it's much more than what I thought of, and I hope by doing this project, lots of people are going to be kind of getting the same vibe and trying to focus not on the impact during production phase, but it starts from the beginning until the end, where we're sitting now. So that's kind of the thing we want to embrace. This is very detailed. We're going to be talking about it with all partners. This is kind of new. It has been discussed with all the institutions, but it needs to kind of land and to see if we can really make it happen. We're going to be tackling 15 students from every institution, so it's going to be 60 people moving around, so now I had 28, so that's kind of the next level as well. It's a bit different. We're going to be starting with an ideation week at the beginning, not like in the middle. So that's something we need to test and we want to test. So again, you're going to be a kind of guinea pigs. It's going to be second year students again. And this is the idea that we have to present to start in October and to maybe invite you all to Brussels or to Belgium at least for the final screening or showing, because it could be broader than the flat screen, it could be something else as well. Okay, let's go through, because what I really want to tackle now is the student component, because it was a series, a web series. The concept for next year is going to be something else. It's going to be a film as art component. And I'd like to welcome my colleague Deidre to the set, to the stage, and Jean as well. Please explain us.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Thanks, guys. For those in the audience that we already know, hi. For those who don't know us, my name is Jean Rice. I'm the chair of Film and TV, and this is my trusty wing commander, Dr. Deirdre O'Toole. So you had the science bit, and I guess this is the art bit of the talk. For those who know us here at the National Film School, for us, film is art. So we have a module called Film as Art. And actually, it's our favourite module. Has been for years. We have some victims and recovering victims of it here in the audience at the moment. I guess it started a while back when we wanted students to look more at art. We were quite surprised that students were not looking at all the great paintings, the great painters from all over the world. So it got us thinking and how we could make them engage with art and engage with film at the same time. So about 20 years ago, we started this project. We've all been on a fantastic journey. You'd be amazed the painters the students have discovered and shown to us, the painters we've discovered as a result. I would say to you, you're dead to us if you bring us a Van Gogh or a Hopper. We've seen them. This is about you discovering art. Remember, there are great female artists as well, right back in time. So think about those when you're looking as well. But I guess our favorite thing about this block is that you are absolutely free from the constraints of script. You are free from the industrial model that film requires. The only thing you are bound by is yourself. And you're all spending time in film school. You could have just gone out there and started making films. You chose to study. And by studying, not only are you studying the techniques and the creativity, but you must study yourself. And you'll be really surprised when you bring your first few paintings to us throughout the process, when we ask you that question, what made you pick that one? And that's the really key question, because it makes you look into yourself. And if you can't look into yourself, then I don't know how you start that journey of making films. So if you will, this module is where it's part psychoanalysis, analytics. Mostly we analyze ourselves. And it is part art, but mostly it's about telling a story by being inspired by a colour, a form, a subject, a mode of painting. So that being said, we're using that as the jump-off point by which you will become inspired to make something about that great subject matter we're about to explore now, the one that's on all our minds. I've stopped reading The Guardian. It is the paper of doom. But it is that paper, or rather it's that sort of thing that we must all look at. And we're hoping by using art as the jump-off point that we can look at it not only negatively, but in a positive manner and possibly with some answers. The last thing I would say is the reason we kind of chose this as our next pilot exercise is, and in as much as you guys have learned lots in making these films, we've learned more. And I hope we're humble enough to acknowledge some of the shortcomings we discovered as well as all the good things. For us, this might solve some of the, shall we say, little bumps on the road that we encountered, because, you know, a picture tells, you know, 1,000 stories. So, you know, we're going to break through the boundaries of any of those things we might have found tripped us up on our first journey, and hope that art will be a nice common sort of bond between us all as we tell stories, okay? Deirdre is going to... You can tell we're unprepared. We went to a bloody meeting this morning. They suddenly asked us to speak at this. So apologies if we went on too long.
So as Jean says, we've been running this module for a long, long time in IEDT, but we're reimagining it again for FilmEU. Like these projects, the wonderful projects that we all just got to see, there'll be an international collaborations and there'll be teams put together from the 4 HEIs that are taking part. This is obviously a wonderful part, sorry to repeat, wonderful part of the FilmEU pilots is the collaboration. And we could see today, things didn't go well even today, and the amount of smiles and collaboration and cooperation on everybody's faces was really amazing. This is also the first time as Film and Art has had a theme that we've brought in the environment and sustainability, and it's also the first time that we've asked you to take that into consideration when creating the project step by step. So again, for both the staff and the students next year will be a lot of learning, a lot of steps by steps, but we're really, really excited about this and hope that we can, over the next week, share that excitement with you And if anyone has any questions or comments, come talk to us.
Thank you.
I'm not going to keep you any longer. I mean, this is criteria for production. It needs to be under a sustainable filmmaking tool that we're going to be using and stuff. So I think that's going to be really the challenge. Some important stuff that maybe we missed this year, and maybe students are going to go confirm that. We need maybe some more student care. Maybe we need to hug them more. Maybe they need some kind of comfort zone once in a while. Because I know it's hard to leave your comfort zone, to leave your country, culture, whatever. We have differences. It's all very strange. Only second year students, so it's all brand new. So I think we want this kind of concept of leave no one behind. And I think we need to do maybe a better job. I know, and I mean, I'm very thankful for my own kind of coaches. They were very helpful in kind of providing some comfort and coaching and on a personal level as well. I think maybe we should kind of bake it into what we want to achieve, that there is somebody to look after students coming in and to make sure that they feel personally well, that they kind of, this is of course sustainability. As I said, it's all about like well-being as well. So I think this first issue is going to be important. Secondly, and this is something we've been doing since a couple of years, this code of conduct, because as we all know, making film is very intimate, it's very personal, and it can become kind of tricky if you don't have a code of conduct, if you don't know what is expected of crew, cast, and so on. So I think this is something that we want to make very clear, that we do have a code of conduct on set, after, before, whatever, so needs to be observed by all parties. So I think that's going to be an added value to something that maybe this year we missed a bit. This is kind of the boring stuff, but it's very important. So we're going to be using our Samsara model again. And for people really interested, WP2 is going to be talking about it tomorrow, about all the special theories and approaches and what we stand for. So that's kind of the thing we want to do. Last thing I want to say before signing off is quality assurance. By some coincidence, all of a sudden I was in quality assurance, WP9, I still don't know why. But it's really interesting, it's really great, and it should be within all projects that we're approaching. So this is kind of a list, key elements of what we want to do. We want to make sure that the quality is there. We want to test quality. And I think, I'm not going to read it out loud because my voice is even worse now, but I think this is important to really know that we are kind of testing this, and we're measuring quality as we go along. Longitudinal, we want to do a beginning, a mid, and an ending kind of, and we want to talk to people, and we want to have people talking about their experience so we can improve. So we have this PDCA kind of iterative process of improving. So I think this is kind of the main idea. This is going to be our next pilot to come, and I think it's going to be presented in Belgium at least. Brussels, we're not sure yet. And I hope you'll join us again. And yeah, some other faces are going to be doing great stuff, I suppose. So thank you so much, and hope to see you soon.
Hi guys, so it's me again, which means we're at the end of the broadcast part of the evening. So just to the students who made the work, I really want to say you're the first graduates, I guess, of FilmEU. So you're our first alumni, I really should know. So that's really, really interesting. And I want to thank you from the kind of program management board for taking that journey. And I know at times it was stressful. And I know at times that we really didn't know what was going on, and that may have been quite stressful. And I know for some of the teachers as well, it was quite stressful at times as well. And I really want to put a call out. They don't that often get called, but the Erasmus coordinators in all the institutions, I can tell you it was very stressful for them as well. Because we were dealing with everything new. No one had ever heard of a blended intensive mobility. I don't think anyone ever wants to hear of a blended intensive mobility again, but actually they're really important. So we had to everyone. So everyone got through it, despite COVID, despite car crashes, despite more COVID, despite flights, and everyone got through it with such good grace, and I was delighted to see the films tonight. I think we were all delighted to see the films, but delighted to see the background work of the films as well, because FilmEU isn't just about the outputs. So thank you to the students, thank you to everybody who worked on it. Just to do a little bit of housekeeping for those of you at home, we will be cutting the live feed now. It's a really horrible way of putting it. And we'll be ending this show. And we will see you again tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So thank you very much for joining in, and good night.